Pacha pacha.
Hello, what's good? It's me, your guy, all the way from Bedside Habo, and it's another week, another stream. This is live stream number 166, I want to say. I hope I'm right. But it's good to see you all, whether you're watching in the future on the replay or you currently live right here in the chat with me. What's up to Kunam and Coco in the chat? Thank you all for showing up and saying hello. Let's see some blue hearts in the chat. Let's see some blue hearts in the chat real quick. Before we get into tonight's festivities, I want to go over just a few highlights really quick. Tonight we are working on a Sweaty Minds comic strip, so I'm going to go through the process and just talk you through it on how we start to finish. We won't be finishing it tonight because there's a lot to it, but we will be making some progress for sure. But first and foremost, man, what a weekend. What a weekend, right? Thanks to everybody that showed up to the opening night of my latest exhibition at Riva Gallery, the digital art exhibition. I am very excited and elated to have been a part of this showcase with all these talented artists. And it's going through till the 23rd, so you still have time to go check it out if you're in the tri-state area, if you're in New York, right there in Roosevelt Island. Excuse me. Wow. All the information is in the pinned comment in the chat. So go check it out. Go have some fun. We also did the Hijaz. We also did the Afrovisionaries field trip. So it was a double feature this Saturday. Or this past Saturday. We went to the Studio Museum Harlem, and that was amazing. First of all, Studio Museum Harlem has been closed for about 7 years. This is their grand reopening. I had no idea they were such a popular and prominent institution. I feel bad for not even acknowledging or realizing that, because I was like, oh, let's go to the museum opening. It'll be fine. Yo, that line was out the wazoo, bro. Like stretching all the way almost down the block. Okay. I put on my wristband too. This is from when we went. You got one of these for opening day. But saw Dapper Dan. I didn't get to dap him up though. If you don't know who that is, you can Google. But the museum itself is phenomenal. We didn't even get to explore the entire space because I had to go to my own exhibition. But you can tell that a lot of love, care, and money went into this institution, to this reboot, this rebuild of this institution. And I'm talking like all kinds of beautiful Black art. It's a Black museum, first and foremost, in case you didn't know. So a lot of the kinfolk showed up. A lot of people was dressed to the nines, and a lot of the art was just phenomenal. And we talking everybody from Adrian Piper to Kerry James Marshall to Basquiat and beyond. You feel me? Like it was just wall to wall iconic Black art, emerging artists, established artists, current and past artists. Like it was just extraordinary. And I only got to the top floor. We started at the top floor. We didn't even go all the way through. So we're gonna run it back in December. We're gonna go on December. I'm thinking maybe the first or second week of December we'll try to run it back real quick and check it out for real. So thanks to everybody that pulled up for both events. I am very grateful for this time, being able to go out and do things with y'all for real. Speaking of events, we do have our grant writing workshop on the 23rd from 2 to 4 p.m. So come through. This one will be a little bit more laid back and kind of just getting people to make progress on the grant writing process. So this time, instead of it just being pure research, we're actually going to be doing more practical writing and application filling out of applications. Put it that way. So come through. RSVP link is in the chat, pinned in the chat right there. I think it's pinned. Yeah, it is pinned. Perfect. So we have that. Here is the event schedule for this month as well. So we're winding down into the final few weeks, final few moments. So we are having a movie screening, a movie night this Friday at 7 p.m. and we'll be watching Kiriko and the Sorceress. It is a French animated film about some really cool African aesthetics and culture, characters. Thank you for the congratulations in the chat and the blue hearts as well. So come through for that. We're gonna screen that at 7 and then have a analysis and discussion afterwards, and just talk about, because I didn't realize the film was made by a white guy, a white man, Michel Ocelot. Crazy. So we're gonna be talking about that for sure. And last but not least, if you haven't already, go check out, after the stream is over, go check out the Big Changes video, the It's Time We Talked video starring me and BB. You see BB in the background. He was sitting on the dresser. I told him to get off, but he wanted to be in the video. So, I can't tell him what to do all the time. He got to do it. He going to do what he going to do. But that's pretty much it for right now. Those are the events that are coming up. We are having an Among Us game night on the 30th. On the 30th, we're going to be playing Among Us. It is $5 to get the game. You can play it on all platforms and it's cross-play. So if you don't have the game, you just grab it off of whatever your preferred platform is, whether that's Steam, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo, your phone. You can play it on all these platforms. And I haven't played that since like early pandemic. I remember we did that maybe a handful of times. So I'm excited to see what's changed. I'm excited to see how we all deceive one another and be all, deductive and whatnot. So that's on the 30th. And if you're not part of the Discord and you want to join us for both the movie night and the game night and any other future events happening in our virtual space, you can sign up to our Patreon, which is just $1 a month. And you'll get access to not only our Discord server, but to all things Habtoons related. So upcoming behind the scenes for new projects, exclusive events, and both virtual and in person, analog, and so much more. And also just posted in the Artist Opportunities chat. So there's a few opportunities I put up. I slacked on the newsletter this month because there was so much going on. So I do apologize for those who were like waiting for that and looking for that. There was just a lot happening. So I hadn't had a chance to really like sit down and do like an extensive research that I normally do. So we'll probably just roll it over to December. So we'll have a December newsletter. But yeah, we're going to jump into some Sweaty Minds comic strip making and listen to some music and, get up out of here around 9:00, 9:15 or something like that. All right. Sound good? All right, let's get into it. Baja. Okay, so it's funny because I'm in a digital art exhibition, right? And a lot of people think that digital art is just like you press a button and then things just happen. You know what I mean? And that's far from the truth. That's far from reality. I still have to draw. I still have to color. I still have to shade and write the text and do all the things that you got to do. Still got to do all those things. And typically for majority of all the comics I do, they all start with paper and pencil. Then I scan it into Photoshop and do all the inking and color in there. But I would say 97% of all the things I do start off traditionally. There are some things that are just pure digital. But even then, I'm still doing stuff by hand. So it's not like this is automated or anything like that. I don't know what this hairstyle was. I was trying to think of the most doofy Karen hairstyle in the world. And Karen is probably the wrong word. But you'll see what this person is supposed to be when we get a little further in the process. This one's starring Epic Ethel, who you may know as Bed-Stuy's Defender, the First Lady of Habtoons. And yes, it is made by Kiriko and the Sorceress. Looks like it was directed by a white guy named Michel Ocelot. I have to double check, but that's what I saw when I was looking it up. I was like, oh, interesting. But that's not going to change my opinion on the film because I haven't seen it yet. And typically with a lot of films like this, stuff that's coming from, you know, French, they typically have some really dope stuff. Like Les Scars is a really good film too. I saw that maybe a year ago. But that's made by, I know that's definitely made by a black dude, with Scars. I think. Oh shit. It's a little upsetting. You thought it was a black person. That's understandable. For me, context matters, so I need to know like what the story is behind this in particular, and like why, you know, because I got the DVD from a black DVD restoration company. Like they have like a collection of really great black film. So I don't think anybody's really tripping off of that, because it's just the director. I don't think he wrote it. Oh, he's still alive too. Oh, I just looked him up, and he was responsible for several animated films, and he has 3 of the Kiriko films under his belt. So it looks like it was, oh, I know that production company. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Just like some extra little bit of light reading. Oh wow. So a dub of the film was recorded in Swahili, and then Michel, he did a lot of research into the visual design and aesthetics of like West African visuals and whatnot. Okay. The full cast is done by Black South Africans, Senegalese actors. The composer is also African, Black African. He employed some school children as well. So it's not like it's I wasn't tripping off of that anyway, but it's not like he just made like a film. It was like, oh, put some black people, you know. So they typically don't do that. I'm very familiar with like a lot of French animation. They typically don't do that. That kind of thing. What's up, Roofire? Do I want her to be? Okay, maybe no. Okay, maybe I will lower her down just a little bit. What's a white liberal version of a Karen? What do you call that? Because a Karen is like is usually like a really annoying conservative white lady. But what do you call a liberal Karen? I'm doing good. I just did a little brief highlight of what happened this weekend. I'm actually going to do a full members only review tomorrow of the exhibition because there's some things I do want to talk about that I feel like I'd rather have said between us. So there's going to be a members only stream live. Ooh. I had pizza earlier, excuse me. It's going to be a members only stream tomorrow at 8. So I'm going to talk about the exhibition. I'm going to review it, talk about some things that I liked and didn't like. I also will be discussing a special announcement that nobody knows about, and this is like pretty big, and I'm really excited about that. And we're going to discuss some things about AI as well. So it's going to be a multifaceted members only stream. Yo, MS was good. Thank you for coming on Saturday. I appreciate that. Thank you for coming on Saturday. Karen could also be a white liberal. Okay. Karen, LOL. Okay. Okay, I thought there would be a different name like Bethany or something. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all seen that mess about Nicki Minaj, y'all? This clip for her, man. This clip for her. There's no going back now. And I'm sure there'll still be barbs who cape for her no matter what. Because I'm pretty sure there are barbs who are secretly or overtly MAGA as well. But like, yo. Oh, there's a new, I was thinking about just problematic people. There's a new, what would you classify Azealia Banks' music as? I'll ask that first. What would you classify Azealia Banks as in terms of being an artist? I know I just jumped from Nikki to Azalea, but stay with me. Nikki's been on the conservative troll for a while. Troll? Well, I mean, there's a difference between troll and then like being full on like legit mega head, right? I feel like trolling and being serious is two different things. Rap House? Okay. So yeah, there's a new Rap House girl out. I can't remember her name, but she was on Colors. And she gives me Azalea Banks vibes. And I'm like, please don't be problematic because we don't have nobody else right now. There's a big hole. There's a big hole that needs to be filled. What was her name? I saw her on TikTok, but she was on a Color show, so I can just look that up. And everybody in the comments was like, oh, you sound like this, you sound like that. And she was like, I'm so and so. Like she said her name. I was like, oh, okay. We respect that. We respect that. We respect that. Rochelle Jordan. Rochelle Jordan is her name. Rochelle Jordan. Rochelle Jordan. Rochelle Jordan. What else happened in Black news? Pharrell said something stupid too, I think. I didn't see it, but I heard people saying that it was clipped for him too. It was Pharrell, Nicki, and somebody else did something. I was watching a bunch of stuff today. I was watching like some Mark Malone Hill and some other commentators. I forgot who it was. Oh no, well this person's not black. He just be in black spaces. Rory from the Rory and Maul podcast got into some trouble. He has some really fucked up old tweets that resurfaced, and he was in like a Twitter Spaces thing, and he like doubled down and said more stupid stuff. Now everybody's having this commentary of like, oh, why has he been allowed to be in our space for this long? Why has he been allowed to be at the cookout for so long? And I was like, well, nobody said nothing. Everybody was kiki and ha-ha the whole time. Like when he said the Tar Baby thing, that Tar Baby tweet was crazy. I was like, damn, Rory. That's how you was giving it up back then? Insert clip of Charlamagne asking Azalea Banks. Yo. The Breakfast Club be funny sometimes, man. They have their moments. They have their moments. I'm trying to remember if I was. Did I? Hold on. I'm trying to see something. Okay, I wasn't tripping. I couldn't remember what I was trying to do with the hair. So it's like these two things, but then in the back, it's like. It's kind of more free flowing. That shorter though. Yeah. Wait, what auto corrected you? Oh. I said the same thing other ways about black culture. So Rory has like a good ear for music, so I'll say that. But I do feel like he has gotten a pass for a lot of things, riding off the coattails of the Joe Budden podcast, and that blew up. But once that whole, why did I stop watching? There was something that happened, and I was like, once that thing happened, I was like, I'm kind of off this. Cause oh, you know what it was? It was Maul. It was Maul. Because Maul, he's a very closed-minded type of individual, and a lot of the times he ends up trying to do this like Joe Budden thing where he gets loud and he try to overspeaks people, even though what he's saying is wrong. He'd be loud and wrong, and it was getting to the point where it's just like, I can't really listen to these takes anymore because there's no space given for anybody else in the room to speak. He sucks up all the air. Like, they were, especially when the Kendrick Drake beef was happening, it was just like, damn, bro, get off of Drake's. It's like, it's one thing to be a fan, but also it's like, you doing too much. Even if somebody was my friend, I'm gonna still say what I have to say. I'll say it respectfully, but I'm still gonna say what I have to say, bro. Like, Drake didn't do well during that beef, and you have to admit that all of Kendrick's songs were pretty good, if not amazing, especially Not Like Us. You know. You feel me, folks? We're on Rory and Mal's side. Yeah, no, I was one of those people too. I was one of those people too that was on Rory and Mal's side when that whole beef happened between the two. Because I was also like a legitimate Joe Budden hater at the time, given that I knew someone that personally was affected by a lot of his, gobbledygook garbage. So I was like, all right, if this is happening, then yeah, like, let's all just jump ship. And I haven't watched the JBB since. The only things I've seen are clips, and those clips have been with Mark Lamont Hill on the podcast when, he would say something profound, or he would make the other members look stupid, or that recent thing where him and Queens Flip was about to square up in the room. Ish and Queen, Ish, all. I feel like Joe is actually like intelligent, but there are other people around him, like the men, they're not at at that level as far as like speaking. They might be like highly intelligent in other ways. I'm not saying they're like moronic or stupid, but when it comes to having like discussions about politics or things happening in the world and having like actual things to say that make sense, because those clips where I see them talking and Mark is talking with them, I'm just like, what is happening here? No, people definitely hold their breath around Joe because, just like I was saying with Maul, he sucks up the air out of the room, and I think that's why it's great that Mark is on the show, because Mark, at least from the clips I've seen, and just by watching his own, channel and his podcast, he's at a different level of oration and intelligence that can't be silenced if, Joe was yelling. Because I think at the end of the day, Joe actually respects Mark more than he respects them other dudes, like in a different way. Like, they all cool with each other, but I feel like just going off of the clips I've seen, it feels like people that Joe respects or he thinks are smarter or better than him, he doesn't go off on them. He doesn't yell. Oh, Parks. Yeah, Parks. Once they gave Parks a mic, I was like, get that nigga off the mic. Get that man off the mic. Once they added Parks. It's not that I don't like I don't hate I don't hate nobody, but it's just like I feel like once they did that whole split where they split the pod and Rory and Mal left and Parks was like starting to speak up more, I was like, shut up. What are you talking about? I don't hear you, Parks. But yeah, the Rory thing was kind of wild to see, but I'm not surprised because I feel like every white person at some point or time in their life has said something egregious to black people or black women specifically. That's just an unfortunate fact. Like, that cannot be denied. That's an unfortunate fact. That's not an opinion. Even people that we don't deem as problematic or like quote unquote one of the good ones have done something or said something that was still kind of like wild, you know, because you have to realize that white people have an implicit bias that they have to unpack or constantly have to, you know, check themselves on. No matter how goodwill they think they are, how open-minded they think they are, there's something. There's always like a glint there, you know. Does she like she about to do something? I hope that's what that's giving her. Like, who the fuck you talking to? Expression. About to stall on you. About to stall on you, Susie. Why is this loading slower than the other thing? Maybe I'm tripping. Like, from what I saw, people talking about it, it seems like that it's the thing that happens when a white person who's in close proximity to the black community in spaces gets really too comfortable. Yeah, I mean, Rory is in a daggone black fraternity. Rory's a noob. Another thing too, a lot of people think because they end up dating a black person that removes the racism from their DNA or their blood, you know, like their implicit bias from their ideology. And it's like, no, you can still be cuffed up with a black man, black woman, black non-binary, whoever, and still be doing wrong. You still do that. For this particular comment, titled POC, I'm going to erase that. Titled POC, essentially is how I feel about that term and how it erases. The use of that term promotes black erasure. And I feel like it's one of those things that was created by white people to just kind of lump everybody together to make it easier for them. You know, it's like when you meet somebody and you tell them your name and they're like, oh, can I just call you Rue? You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying Rue Firestar, they say, can I just call you Rue? And it's like, no, say my whole name. You know, they just want things to be easy for them because they don't want to try, they don't want to make effort. And I feel like when we use the term POC, it erases us specifically and then just lumps everybody else into one thing. And it's like, no, we all come from very specific cultures, ethnicities, backgrounds, and I think that should be respected. It's not about division. It's just about identifying where we come from and being able to express that freely. We should be proud. Thomas Jefferson ain't racist. He had black children. It's crazy. So typically with these particular subjects in the comic, I like to utilize Epic Ethel because she's that Goyle. Okay, she's gonna say it to your face or most likely punch you. Because I think sometimes people do need to be punched in their face. Everybody, like, I feel like once you're punched in your face, it kind of changes your reality. You chill out a little bit. Have you ever been punched in? Like, I've been punched in the face. It's a very like humbling experience. Whether it's like being sucker punched or actually in a fight, like it changes you. It changes you. So I typically will use her or other members from her particular comic to address these types of issues, which I think are very important to talk about, especially when we have. Funnily enough, I don't know if Jazz is still here. We were just having a conversation about Woke, the TV show Woke, Keith Knight, and that's one of those shows where it's made by a black person but for white people, and I feel like we need to stop doing stuff like that. I think shows like that don't do anybody justice, because the white people that end up watching it, they just go, "Oh wow, that's really messed up. I can't believe," and they just go about their day. That's what happened with Blackish, you know. And Keith Knight had some boogaloo, doobie doo, shucka, jiva nonsense in there. I don't know what I just said, but you get what I'm saying. And I'm like the anti-version of that. Did I say Keith Lee or Keith Knight? Keith Knight is his name. Woke, I watched it all the way through, but that was a very hard watch. That was a very hard watch. Insert clip of Mike Tyson saying some people need to be punched in their face. He said that? I agree with that. My favorite clip is when Mike Tyson told Lil Boosie why he don't eat shit the fuck. Wait, I think I've seen that. Was that on a podcast somewhere? Was that on a podcast? I think I've seen that. Yeah, I think I did see that then. Yeah. Come on, man. It was somebody's podcast. I just found out Godfrey has a podcast. I watched a little clip of that. It was Angela from Boy Meets World. She was on there talking about her time on the show. And she was with her husband, who's a black man. I was a little surprised. I don't know why. And she was just talking about her time being with the cast and how a lot of them didn't really treat her well. She's talked about it before, but I didn't know like the specifics of it, you know. And the only person she really pieced it up with was Will Friedle. No, I knew before. I just didn't know the details because I didn't really care. Like, because we've heard that story before. We've heard this story all the time. You know. Are you talking about the podcast? Yeah, I didn't know he had a podcast. I don't be following people like that. But I was like, when the news first broke out, I was like, I don't even want to look at this because I'm like, we've seen this story like 5 million times. It's the same thing over and over again. Black person comes on a TV show that's predominantly white. They get ousted or shunned or put to the side. People make racist jokes. They do these little blase things, you know. Happens. Too much. not to say that I'm trying to be like dismissive. It was just like, I'm not surprised. Here we go. Oh, I think I was going to make that a little bigger. We're going to get up out of here in a few minutes, though. All right, so when I draw her hand, then I'll size it up, actually. Her fist, excuse me. Excuse me. But I did see a really fun interview earlier today. I watched Jamie Hewlett and Damon Albarn. They was on some British radio show talking about the new Gorillaz project and whatnot. And I think they hinted at what might be coming next, which is really exciting. And it's like, it's so interesting to see like people who enjoy doing what they do talk about what they do. Because you can tell they really love, first of all, they really love each other, right? They've been working together for like 20 something years, but they also really love Gorillaz, you know? And I feel like when they're done with it, that's probably going to be the last we ever see of Gorillaz. When they're really, really done with it. Because I feel like they wouldn't want to pass that on. He even said that too. He was like, you know, how can you really trust somebody with something like that? Are they going to really want it and be as hungry about it as you know, they were? Really passionate. Because I have an end goal for all the stuff I do too. Like, I don't want things to just go on and exist just to exist. I actually just put up a Patreon audio post about that Moana reboot they're doing, the live action. And I'm just like, what's going on here? You know, it used to be a time where you would see things be made by people who actually cared about what they were making. You know? So I was thinking like around here, just kind of sizing it up a little bit. I would still need to draw, or maybe I wouldn't. I was gonna say maybe I still need to draw her full body, but I wouldn't have to. Yeah. All right, let me just do this. Let me start the colors for Ethel first before we go. And Jamie Hewlett is a really nice dude. Like, I met him in person. He's one of those few people you meet and you're like, oh, maybe meeting your heroes isn't a bad thing. You know? Like, he was really, really chill, very nice dude. And I know he was being nice because the day that I met him, I've told this story before, he had an exhibition here in the city. And they told people not to bring a shit ton of stuff to sign because, you know, he don't want to be sitting there. It's not a signing opportunity. It's just his exhibition opening. And of course, every motherfucker in the world want to bring all the CDs. They want to bring the books. They want to bring the posters. And he took time to sign each and every one. Not a lot of people would do that, especially at the opening for their exhibition. You know. I got my little picture and I was happy. Like, I was cool, you know. I was just there to see him and see the art. You feel me? Ethel's face, all right, I'm gonna beat her ass. Good, that's exactly what I want it to be. She likes to fight. Oh, speaking of like to fight, look what I got, y'all. I forgot forgot to show this earlier. Dexter's Lab complete series, but Powerpuff Girls movie. I've never seen it. I've never seen a Powerpuff Girls movie. So I'm excited to watch that. Very excited to watch that. So I always thought the movie looked so cool. It looked completely different from the show. The way it's animated, the way it's colored. And I was like, why didn't they ever show this? Because did they ever show it on Cartoon Network? Did they ever play it like coming up next, a Powerpuff Girls movie? Did they ever do something like that? Because I feel like they never did. It just existed that one time in a movie theater and that was it. I've never seen it. I don't know how. I just never saw it. I don't know how. I really don't know how it skipped me. And I was like, where can I watch it? You can't really watch it online nowhere, so I bought the DVD. So sometime this week I'm gonna get into it. I'm really excited. Yeah, it does. Like, I've seen clips of it and it looks mad crisp. It looks so good. You haven't seen it either? Oh my God. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how that skipped me. Both of us. I don't know how that skipped both of us. There is something I do want to talk about in regards to streaming, but we'll do that tomorrow on the members only. It didn't do well in theaters. I imagine not. I imagine not. As popular as Powerpuff Girls was, I don't think it was like movie quality. Like popular. Like Recess, you know, Recess was like movie popular. SpongeBob movie popular. But that don't mean nothing, you know what I mean? God damn it. God damn it, man. I just colored on the wrong layer. I colored on the background layer. God damn it. That's why you gotta pay attention, y'all. I ain't paying attention at all, bro. That's nobody's fault but mine. No, I'll just blame Dexter's Laboratory. I'll blame Dexter's Laboratory on that. No big deal. I just looked down. I was like, God damn it. They probably didn't. I don't know what it was like when they advertised it, but they probably didn't advertise it well. It could have been a number of things is why it flopped. You know, could have been a number of different things. So I love Powerpuff Girls too. I feel like everybody watched Powerpuff Girls growing up. No matter what your gender was or how old you were, like everybody ended up watching it at some point and having a good time. Because it was a show that wasn't a girly show. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the antithesis of what a girly show, quote unquote, would have been back in the day. Which is essentially what Cartoon Network was always doing, flipping things on its head, you know? Because they was whooping people ass in that show. They was going to be called the Whoop Ass Girls. It's true, look it up. All right, we're gonna get up out of here at 9:05. I don't want to just abruptly go, so at 9:05 we'll be getting up out of here. Just a heads up. But if you want more of me, don't worry. We'll be streaming for members only tomorrow. Members only stream tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about some things I don't want to say publicly. Public. And don't forget the grant writing workshop. Grant writing workshop this Sunday. But I'll recap that by the time we leave anyway, so don't worry. You would say it was both girly and all those other things too? No, because like I could see that, but I also feel like when I think girly, I'm thinking like the Barbie cartoons. I'm thinking Totally Spies. I feel like that was a very girly type of show, even though they was whooping people in that too. Powerpuff Girls felt genderless, if that makes sense. I think it didn't do well because people don't want to pay full price for an animated movie. I forgot the reason though. It was probably in a documentary. There's a documentary I wanted to see that talked about the Powerpuff Girls, and I think they had a segment about the movie too. But shout outs to Craig McCracken for making such a iconic series, you know. I mean, I guess girly could mean multiple things, but it's just the way I see it. It's like, for me, when I think girly, I think of specific things. And what I mean that too is just like Powerpuff Girls just had a broad appeal because everybody was watching it. Just from like an advertising standpoint, like from a business standpoint. I'm not talking about from just how we're feeling right now. I'm talking from like how Cartoon Network would have seen it, you know, or how they did see it, I should say. I think that might have been the only show at the time that had like a full female-led cast too. Yeah, because you had like Ed and Nettie, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, which was like very Johnny Bravo. I wish they would bring that back because I feel like that was such. I feel like people slept on that because it was such great commentary, just on like toxic masculinity. Like on the surface level, you would think it was just like a really gross misogynistic show and just like chauvinistic and all these things, but it was actually like pretty profound for its time. People like, oh, they couldn't make this today. They could. I understand what you mean by advertising standpoint. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, 2000s was very rigid, classifying media, and I still feel like it's kind of like that now, in some ways. In certain regards, not as rigid as it used to be, but I still think there's some rigidity there that I think a lot of people are trying to let go of, since there's such a merging of so many different things. Like globalization has changed the way we view and consume media. Because like 15 years ago, you wouldn't see people watching. 15, 20 years ago, you wouldn't see people watching K-pop Demon Hunters like that. Like the way that is popular right now, it wouldn't have been like that back then. I'm saying nothing feel. The aesthetics of the show was very girly, but it had a broad appeal. I just don't think those things are like separate. I think that's what made PG. That was part of the appeal. I hear you. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it felt unique in that way, where the art style, it was all from the same studio. It was all the same people. They all worked together. Genndy Tartakovsky worked on there, and Craig McCracken worked on Dexter. Like they all shared the same shit. So I was going to say, like, I think like the art style really helped with that too, because it was like Powerpuff Girls kind of like Dexter, and Dexter looked like that, and they also like Johnny Bravo. So it was easy for people to transition from one thing to the next, you know, in that way as well. But we're gonna wind down and get up out of here. We'll have a longer stream and discussion tomorrow, like I said. Let me just finish the shirt real quick. I'm excited. This one's gonna be. I think this one's gonna be funny. It's two more panels after this. I think it's gonna be a good one that resonates with folks. Let's transition. Baja. I want to get a thing where I just press a button and it just automatically does that, and I don't have to like go through and sift through the app to press it. Sorry to cut the conversation short. But yes. We are having first of all, I want to thank everybody again for showing up tonight. I appreciate y'all coming through for the live streams now that we're on this new schedule. And if you haven't already, please go check out, if you want to know what's happening to the channel, please go check out this video. You might see 2 different thumbnails for this video and 2 different titles, but it's the recent video I put out, the changes that are happening to the platform and how we're going to be moving forward with different programming across the video and live streaming space. So go check that out. But again, thank you all for coming through tonight. And for those who came through on Saturday for my exhibition, which is around to the 23rd at Riva Gallery on Roosevelt Islands, go check them out too. Go there if you're in the tri-state area. Like I said, just mentioned, tomorrow night we're doing a members only stream here on YouTube. It'll be the last members only stream for November, so make sure you come through because I have a lot of things I want to talk about and share with y'all. I think you will appreciate. We're gonna have some discussions about the current state of AI and what's going on right now. I want to share some opinions about that and get some ideas from y'all. We're going to have a review of the exhibition itself because I do have some critical things I do want to talk about, but I feel like I want to keep that on the low right now until I do a more public video. And then we're going to discuss a very special announcement that I'm excited to share with y'all. That like you won't even, none of you will guess what it is. You will not guess what it is, but I'll be our members only stream tomorrow. If you want to be a member, you can join right now. It is, I think it's like $2.99. I try to make it as reasonably priced as possible for that. You'll get access to obviously members only streams, videos, and any other special videos and art that we do on the channel. So come through for that tomorrow. Here is what's happening on Sunday. So this is our grant writing workshop for the Afrovisionaries Collective. So come through. It's going to be a little bit more casual, where we will be doing a lot more writing than researching, just making sure that we are making some progress on the grants that we have been looking at and looking for. And I'll still throw some resources at y'all as well, but it's going to be a little bit more laid back, as I said. That'll be on Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. You can register with the link pinned in the chat. If you are part of the Afrovisionaries Collective, all you got to do is just hit that little event tab in Discord and you'll be good to go. Also, here is the event schedule for the rest of November. So two things. One, movie night movie screening on Friday. We're watching Kiriko and the Sorceress. Is a French animated film written and directed by Michel Asselat, and I'm excited to watch that with y'all. We will be having a panel discussion afterwards as well, so make sure you stick around. A panel discussion and analysis of the film, and I think that will be really great to discuss, especially now knowing that Michel Asselat is white. Because there's some things like there's not apprehension, but there's a curiosity with that, as I believe Coco mentioned earlier. And then on Sunday, the Sunday after that, the 30th, the end of the month, the 30th, we're doing a Among Us game night. So this is after the Thanksgiving weekend. We'll be playing Among Us. It's $5 to get the game on whatever platform you want. So that's available on Steam PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch, and also your phone. You can play it on your phone if you want to as well. So come through for that. That is for all the folks that are already in the Discord. And the only way to get into Discord is by being a YouTube member or Patreon member as well. I will be dropping some things this week on Patreon. I already. There's some new art out on my socials, my website, and Patreon, and a new post on Patreon as well, audio only post that I want y'all to check out. Talking about the Moana reboot and just other things happening in Hollywood in general. Just some thoughts I wanted to get out. Nothing crazy, nothing too crazy, but yeah. Thank you again, and I hope you all have a fantastic evening, fantastic rest of your Tuesday, and until next time, until we see each other again, stay true, stay you. We out. Deuces. Good looks.
Pacha pacha.